Welcome to the fifth session of social informatics. As you have noticed so far, and also as it is mentioned in the course syllabus, our class has two categories or two directions. In the first one, we discuss theoretical aspects of social informatics, and in the other one, we discuss technical aspects of informatics somehow, and it is some sort of introduction to the programming skills in this field, and we do it through R. Today, as a theoretical session, we are going to discuss what is social informatics after having discussed informatics and data and information. Today, we are going to talk about what is social informatics. And remember, the title of our department before data analytics was computer informatics. So the name of our department first, computer informatics, and now we are focusing on the title of social informatics. It's not possible to talk about social informatics without knowing what information technology is. Since we are living in the era of computers, we have some instinctive understanding of information technology. But I'm sure it would be interesting to you when we discuss the pure definition, the lean definition of information technology. Because when we talk about technology, we usually remember state of the art type of things. But it is not true here. Information technology, or IT, is the use of systems, any systems. Okay, let alone this part that you see here, especially computers. I'm going to talk about this later. Okay, IT is the use of any systems to create, process, store, retrieve, and exchange all kind of data and information. Okay, so now, according to the definitions and discussions we had last week about data and information, so you notice that information technology is something about data and information, according to the things we discussed last week together. Now, any system. Now, I want to tell you that the things that you see here are not difficult to memorize. See, first of all, creating data or information, processing data or information, as we talked about before. So create, process, and you store them. When you store them, what you are going to do with them? Distribute them, exchange them, or retrieve them. So try to memorize these things in your mind now without extra energy. So you create it, process it, and store it. Now that you have stored it, you retrieve it or exchange it or distribute it. Okay, now any system that you use to do this function on data or information is called information technology. So with this definition, information technology is not something that belongs to modern days. it came to life since human being learn documentation. Because when you document something, in fact, you are creating something. In fact, you are storing something. Okay, so in this field, we have 4 eras. The oldest one starts from 3000 BC until 1450 AD, and it is pre-mechanical. And I have put for you here an example of very primitive one. At the time, human beings used pictures, used drawings to express themselves. So still what you see here is technology, is information technology. Why? Because it is being used in creating this information or data here, to store it. And of course, now you can think about many things that comes after the alphabet, the languages, and all those things absolutely goes to this phase. So remember, information technology is something to process the data, to store the data, to create the data. It doesn't necessarily means computer. But now, as you can see here in the definition, we say especially computers, because after 1940, it is all about computers. When we have computers, we are not going to use these pre-mechanical, mechanical, or electromechanical type of tools. I'm not saying that these things are not being used now. Of course, still we are using mechanical things, still we are using electromechanical things, but they are not the dominant way of application these days. So we have 4 eras, as you can see: 3000 BC to 1450 AD, the first one, pre-mechanical. And after that, 4050 until 1840, it is mechanical. As you can see here, it's a mechanical calculator. And this as 1920. I'm pretty sure it is about 1920. And also still many mechanical type of things that they used to store data, to store information. After that, we come to electromechanical era, and as you can see, it is the first telephone that is made. Electromechanical telephone is a good example for that. Morse is a good example for that. You see, it is combination of mechanical equipments and electrical equipments to create some sort of communication, to create some sort of data creation, information creation. And finally, we get to our era of electronic that started since 1940. And here you can see Apple II as one of the breakthrough type of things in this era. And now, not only in information technology, we can find electronic everywhere, also in the other type of industries, we noticed even transportation. For example, I'm talking about cars, that how much electronic parts play important roles in them. So in this slide, we noticed what is information technology, and usually it's to our students' surprise to notice, oh, the definition of information technology is that. Information technology could be even a drawing, belongs to 1000 BC. Information technology is a telephone because it's a way of communication. It's a way of exchanging information. It's a way of creating information, and finally the computers. That's the usual understanding of us who are living in this era about information technology. As I mentioned in the previous slide, definition of social informatics is very connected to the definition of information technology, IT. That's the reason when you are seeing these three bullets here, all of them in their definitions have IT inside them. But about IT, now you have a good understanding of this word, this term. Okay, about definition of social informatics, according to literature, we have this. First, we go with this. SI, that is social informatics, is the study of IT, means the systems that create, process, store, retrieve, and exchange data or information. SI is the study of IT in cultural or institutional context. In social informatics, they go and check the cultural aspects, the effect IT has on human beings, relations, communications, organizations, and all those type of things. I guess this first definition gives you the idea of what social informatics mostly is about. So you notice it is not that much technical field in the field of informatics. It is mostly a sociological type of things, but I'm gonna keep the focus of our class even in the theoretical part of this class that we talk about social informatics. I'm not gonna make it a sociology class, although it is respected, it is so much helpful. But since our department is Department of Data Analytics, our focus would be mostly on the technical effects of informatics on the human society, on the job market, and the trend of businesses. So in the first bullet that you see, it says SI, social informatics, is the study of ID in cultural or institutional context. So when you are analyzing, for example, a new technology, for example, in communication, and when you analyze it in your organization to see what would be the effect of this on the future of your organization, on the human relations in your organization. In fact, you are doing a project in the field of social informatics. You are not talking about the technical aspects of that, but you need to know very good about the applications, about the environment, to be able to analyze the effects of those information technology. That could be anything. For example, when you see Facebook is some sort of information technology. For example, when you see Instagram is some sort of information technology, because the way they create data. Okay, so you see the effect of that in businesses, a particular businesses. For example, imagine the effect of YouTube on the universities, even education, even. So you see, all these things could be categorized as tasks in social informatics. And it's when you have a good understanding of society and the technology, totally it's completely understandable.